We're in Champagne country. We're at the Champagne Ardennes train station, as a matter of fact, and the champagne is flowing out of the bottles here as both the operators of Alstom, the company that makes this TGV train, and the SNCF, the railroad system here in France, are congratulating themselves for having broken the record. 574.8 kilometers an hour is what they hit this afternoon. That's around 350 miles an hour. Basically, the old record, and actually I was there for that back in 1990, they set at 515 kilometers an hour. That's for rail train traffic. Now, the one thing that they didn't break this afternoon is the real train speed record, which belongs to the Japanese, a maglev system. The train doesn't actually go on rails. It floats above the rails, and that speed record is 581 kilometers an hour, so they were just 7 kilometers shy of having broken the absolute record for train transport. They tell me the driver of the train stepped off the train a few minutes ago to the roar of the crowd here, and he said he basically had the pedal to the metal. He had it going as fast as it would go, and that after a certain point it really depends on weather conditions, and the weather conditions, although it's sunny here today, are not all that favorable because there's a lot of wind, and that leads to some instability on the rails. Going at that speed, Steve, the train was going twice as fast as a jetliner when it takes off.
Imagine that. You wonder why they feel the need for such speed, because that's a luxury train with terrific food, and you can get champagne on it. What's the rush?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think one of the things it has done, the TGV has opened this country up. It's been going here for more than 20 years now and carried over 1.3 billion passengers. One of the things it has done is just transform the landscape here in terms of what people perceive as a long distance. I mean, people commute for 100 miles each way a day, and it takes them 45 minutes. They go down to Marseille from Paris. It's 3 hours. It has just transformed the vision of the countryside and distances. And of course, you have coupled with that the ease and comfort of rail travel, which compared to what's happening at airports these days in terms of security and other things, it really has its advantages. And I should say it has really given the airlines in this country a great deal of competition for those short runs, for those 300-kilometer, 400-kilometer runs.
Who's the market for this technology now?
Well, I asked the guy the president of Alstom of that question just a few minutes ago, and basically he said originally there wasn't that much. Up till about 2 or 3 years ago, not too many people were thinking about having high-speed trains. Now he says there's quite a number of people who are interested. For instance, there is here today a delegation from California who are talking about some kind of a train from perhaps San Diego to Sacramento. But beyond the United States, there are places like Argentina, Brazil, Morocco, Algeria, other parts of the world that are looking at this. Basically, you have to have a run that's about 300-400 kilometers long, maybe a little longer. But you don't want to go too far, because once you get beyond that, once you get beyond the 3-hour, 4-hour limit, then you are into plane travel. Plane travel becomes more practical. So basically, it has to be a sort of a medium-sized run, and so that's the kind of markets that they're looking at all over the world.